cosmos is all there is, or ever was, or ever will be.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made.
There's a verse in Romans chapter 1 which says that men did not want to believe God, so they suppressed the truth in unrighteousness, because it's the obvious alternative, but it has an implication. It means that there is a God who's made us and which we're answerable to. And that's why people have moved away from what I believe is proper, experimentally based science.
Gravity explains the motions of the planets, but I confess, I cannot explain who set the planets in motion by mere theory.
The vision of the Museum of Natural Science and History is to provide a fun and educational environment where people of all types can come and see the evidence, the physical evidence in support of creation as detailed in the Bible, which is contrary to what we see in society and in schools. This provides a pathway to come to know Jesus Christ.
How do we gain knowledge? You see, you never find evidence for anything. What you find is a fact, usually the fact of your senses. But that fact by itself doesn't tell you much. You need to interpret it by using what? A scientific filter.
Even Michael Ruse, who's a Canadian philosopher of science, who testified at the Arkansas trial in America in '81, he had to admit there that evolution has always been a religion right from start to finish, a full-fledged alternative to Christianity, he said.
The Museum of Natural Science and History, a science center, museum, and theme park in one, designed to the biblical dimensions of Noah's Ark and general appearance of a ship. It consists of 3 floors. The first addresses creation, the world before the global flood. The second floor presents the evidence for the flood, while the third floor explains how the world has changed since the flood. Visitors enter the foyer to be greeted by a huge mammoth, a T-Rex skeleton, and a pterodactyl flying overhead. The Walk of Faith has cable walkways, rickety plank, and a zip line where kids of all ages can be thrilled traversing the course. While doing so, they learn about faith. Faith the harness will stop them from falling. Learn that evolution is a faith, not fact. Learn about faith in the Bible. The Flood Motion Simulator uses 6 degrees of motion, taking visitors on a roller coaster experience through the flood. A cafeteria, book, DVD, and gift shop are located near the foyer. The amphitheater provides the latest technology for our culture that thirsts for this kind of stimulation. This technology will educate visitors about astronomy, geology, physics, genetics, biology, flood, and weather. The stage provides a venue for performances by guest speakers. The options are vast. A combination of solar, wind, and geothermal sources will provide the energy. The task is ambitious, but with your financial help and God's overall provision, it will happen.
The scientific evidence is against evolution because it doesn't tell us how life could have got here from non-living chemicals, and doesn't tell us how the information could have increased without any intelligent input.
Sir Fred Hoyle, what he said was that the probability of the life evolving by chance is equal to the probability that a tornado sweeping through a junkyard would assemble a Boeing 747. And in other words, it's just simply impossible.
Problem is, a supernova is an explosion of a star. So where did that star come from? Well, very quickly you get a chicken and egg sort of proposition here. And this solution, in fact all the solutions to how you jumpstart star formation, none of those ultimately tell you where the first stars came from.
Imagine the fossil record as a book which is missing pages, which is a valid analogy, absolutely. But today, 150 years after Darwin, we can put numbers to this. And it turns out that the book is like 1,000 pages, of which 999 are missing.
We have the science already. It's in the Bible. It is written. That's the true science.
The only way such systems as we see in biology, in the realm of living systems, such systems could come into existence is near instantaneously, supernaturally, miraculously. There is no other explanation from a scientific standpoint. That's the only way such systems can come into existence. Evolution is a joke.
Even the summit of Mount Everest is composed of marine invertebrate fossils right on the very summit of Mount Everest. It really seems as if God left a testimony in the rocks that something extraordinary happened in Earth history, and it's a testimony that's very difficult to deny.
The Museum of Natural Science and History will provide an alternative perspective for people that want to compare the evidence and decide for themselves what is true.
As you can see, building a modern, high-tech museum is a huge undertaking. The land, the building, the exhibits will cost around $60 million. We need your help. If you see the value of teaching people about science, removing stumbling blocks from knowing God as a creator, then please partner with us. Contact us, we'll get together and we'll talk. And together we can provide a pathway to allowing people to know Jesus Christ.